So if you want to create real alignment in a group, for whatever reason, your real alignment around a decision, real alignment around creating a purpose, real alignment around creating a culture of a team where everyone's buy-in is important, then you really need to read the energy of the room and see if there's anyone who's not aligned. Yeah. Consensus decision-making. So when it comes to wanting everyone involved in the decision-making, you want to be really strong on reading the room. Creating real consent. I did my last webinar was on creating real consent. So I will give you a link later on, or in an email that I send out later, to my other webinars if you're interested. But what was really interested in that webinar was that real consent needs a lot of permission to say no, because it's hard for us human beings, right? We want to be, we really want to be belonging to a group, right? So we don't want to disagree. So how can you really enable real consent and give permission to disagree in a group? And so reading the room and reading the energy, if there is disagreement or alignment, both of those feel different, you can help to facilitate the permission for consent. Very important. And I often say when I'm facilitating alignment, this is not about giving in. Alignment is, we're working so long as a group around a decision until we have real alignment from everyone. Because as soon as someone just gives in, they're not have the full buy-in. They might starting to sabotage or create a different intention outside of it. So spending a bit more time as a group and as a facilitator to achieve real alignment is very powerful for the longer term buy-in. And reading energy is your superpower as a facilitator to know when alignment is achieved. Creating a team culture and team purpose, absolutely. You know, you really want to read and see if everyone is aligned or what else is going on. So these are some circumstances and examples where you really want to be able to read the room, needing real buy-in from everyone. And thanks for all of the comments. Yeah, when you want active participation, expectations. Great. Yeah, thanks. And so circumstances where you might not need reading the room as much, or where it's maybe not as important. And that's a really great distinction. When you're teaching a subject, I mean, yes, you want to read, is it coming through? But like, for example, in this webinar, I don't see you. And it's not necessarily essential that I need your room for achieving the purpose of this webinar. So when you're teaching a subject, it's good to have, but it's not absolutely important and essential. And you're welcome to disagree with me. So just put any questions or things in the chat. When you're not needing consent from everyone, right? When there's maybe not a decision-making process that's going on. It's just a consultation process, for example. You know, in community engagement, you do a lot of community consultation, which doesn't necessarily give any veto power or decision power to the community. And in that place, you don't necessarily need to know and feel the energy for alignment or feel the energy in the room as much. You can follow the agenda more through in a sort of more linear way. No decisions need to be made. You know, I think if you don't have to make a decision as a group, you don't have to necessarily as a facilitator really work with the energy as much. Presentations. You know, for all of this, reading the energy is helpful, but it's not essential. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have those skills yet. I know we have some teachers here in the room, etc. It is really becoming essential when it comes to the other parts that I discussed earlier. When you want to create real alignment, this is when the skill of reading the room becomes important.